Hello guys, welcome back. Skip here. We have a new episode of Little Friends. I know it's been a while since my last episode, but hey, life's real life got into my way of doing some videos. But I'm back, and we have something really cool and new here in Little Friends. So, in order to you guys to understand, this is the area we kept building from Paris. Mostly because we take inspiration from other cities as well, not only Little France, but mostly here. So we've been working here, doing the Bercy interchange last time, and all this entire area together with the Relight, because I made some changes, and we will keep building this particular area from here as it is in Paris. We can do a big jump here near Jardin du Luxembourg. Because I found something cool, a really nice intersection, together with this metro station that, I mean, if you stay up here, you can see stuff down there to the metro station. I wasn't totally sure, but then I looked on Google Maps, not on Google Earth, and I see there is a metro line indeed. So this is, hopefully, is what I was thinking of. So this particular area from here, it's really interesting. As you can see, this is a big intersection. Well, here there was some working. I will not do the working here, which is on the road. But in this intersection, we have like a little, it's not a roundabout, but it's just drawn on the ground. So cars can actually, oopsie daisy. So cars can actually do a proper turning left and whatnot. And I felt like I should do that. I'm not going to do this checkboard style here, but I will do some of the things from here. For instance, in this road, I'm going to add this statue from here in the middle, so cars can actually turn around here and then here, go into this road and whatnot. I'm not going to build the entire Jardin du Luxembourg area or the Palais here. I'm gonna skip this part, but we will get to maybe in the next episodes. It depends on you. If you think we should do that, please do let me know. Okay, of course, first thing I've done when I started creating this intersection, it was to choose a specific road. And I went for Yogurt's highway roads, the ones that I use for Bercy interchange, because they are not sunken. They are exactly like highway roads, but they are more narrower and they look good. Plus, they create some really good angles. After I created those let's say roads, I've tried to squeeze them or to make them look as much as possible with the one from Paris. Also, the other roads that are very close nearby, I've tried to do the same. And in the end, once I, let's say, achieved most of the look that I wanted, I did the little roundabout, the little intersection roundabout, which was quite easy practically, because I've linked some roads, and then I just squeezed and moved all the nodes that were very close there until I managed to do let's say a small roundabout. The big boulevard that had like 4 lanes, well, I changed that too. I upgraded, or I changed it with with other two-lane roads. Because this way we don't have that thing, when you have a sunken road and then a road like made for highways, there is a gap between the heights there, and I didn't want to have that. I had to get rid of those, and the only way to do so is, of course, to use the same type of roads. I mean, these ones, the highway roads. It was the easiest way to create a little roundabout. Because it's a roundabout, of course, we don't need traffic lights, so cars will have to drive the correct way. And when you link these highway roads with a big boulevard, you just have to move the nodes and the segments in order to achieve the perfect angles, you know, to make them look properly. Okay, so as you saw earlier, this is what we managed to achieve here. This is a little roundabout here. You'll see the detailing, whatnot, very soon in the time lapses and whatnot. But this is what it is. Here is a very small area where cars cannot actually drive through, even though some of them might cut the lines. But this is just for the looks, and it's working properly. Trust me, it's working properly. Cool. The next thing we have to do, the next thing I went for was the Sunken metro station, which is totally and perfectly working. I was thinking how to do it, and I found the new tram lines made by Class and metro lines, sorry, and I sunk them there, and I made these beautiful tunnels, which are super cool actually. And I've been using here different type of one type of a building, and that's the one made for a funicular by Revo. Well, what I've started by just plopping down a metro line, and then I sunk it into the ground at a point. I didn't know exactly how much should I do that, or for how deep should I go with that sunken metro line. But that can be changed later on. Then I added down the funicular station. Of course, I turned it into a procedural object because I wanted to get rid of all those railings there. And the only way to do so is just to use these to turn it into procedural objects. Plus, I needed to get rid of the tracks, and I don't actually need a working building. That's just for the looks. This way, I can add my own stairs, and I can't be bothered because of those railings that you saw earlier. Then I'm just adjusting a bit the metro lines. Lower or higher, depends, and to do so I just added a platform and then the metro on the tracks, so I know exactly how low or high should I go with the tracks in order to make it look, let's say, fine. You know, people can actually walk from the platform directly into the metro. Then if you know, I don't know if you guys know, but Revo finally, well, he managed to get back on the workshop with his beautiful retaining walls, the ones that were removed at a point from the workshop. Now they are back there, which is really cool. I'm using those again, thanks for that thing. And I've added a road right next to the metro station here to cover that ugly terrain area. Plus, I do want to have a road there. And if you know, when you have something sunken and you add a road right next to it, which is not a bridge or elevated road, then it makes some ugly marks, black marks on it. So I had to cover them with the proppable asphalt to get rid of those. In between the roads there, because this is not a sunken road and it's a flat road, I had to add some curbs made by Arnold Riemer, and I filled all those with ploppable pavement, so it looks like it's a road. Well, it's a custom road, but you know, it makes it look like a road, and the entire road it's covered with ploppable asphalt because I wanted to get rid of those lines. I had a look on the Google Earth and then on the road in Paris, and there are no markings on the ground for delimiting the 2 lanes or 3 lanes. Then I was looking at the roundabout again, and I was like, hey, but cars that are coming and just want to turn right. Cars that just want to turn right, they don't have to actually get into the roundabout. So I added an extra 1-lane road, and this way cars can avoid doing that, which is better, I think. And of course, everything will be covered with toppable asphalt to make it look perfect and neat. The little roundabout, actually there are some just lines. I use some lines, I select them with move it and just lower them with page down button in order to make them fade away a tiny bit. As roofs for the metro station, I've been using these made by Ronix, because you can actually plop them down and make a perfect angle with those, and that's what I did. And I plopped them over the existing one, and then I plop them above the stairs too, which is working really good actually. I can't complain about it. Also, I did the same thing and I made on the other side another metro station. So this way is like a mirror metro station. You can go back, you can get down on each side. I added some extra retaining walls instead of railings there when you get down and take the stairs and whatnot. The next thing I started working on was the, let's say, the Jardin du Luxembourg part. Just a small part of it, and I'm using there are some new surfaces on the workshop. Surfaces for each theme you have there, and I used one that I like the most. And then around this I had to continue with the road work, and I was thinking how to make the roads properly, because there are a few of them that can, let's say, annoy you a bit in case you want to make this look like it is in Paris nowadays. So I've been using like a three-lane one-way road there, because I'm going to add some parking areas, parking lots on it. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So I did that, and there is also another road on the workshop, which is a normal road, like both ways, one lane both ways. And it's also not sunken, it's flat road, which is actually really cool. And this one works as a you can plop buildings near it. Maybe you can add, maybe you are going to ask me, hey, what about the buildings? Because you have to add buildings. Yes, I'm adding buildings near these highway roads, but I will add invisible pathways so people can actually get to the buildings where they want to get, and this way they will properly function. I've turned some of the buildings into procedural objects, but that's no problem for me, because I can add inside of them some service little cubes, and I actually did that. Now if we look here on Google Earth, so we did this area more or less. We did the metro, which is a bit bigger here, and I did it on the other side as well, so it's like mirrored. Then we did the road work here. We added this with surfaces to create the Jardin. This one-way road, see here it has like 1 and 2 parking lots on both sides, but from here we have to turn left mandatory, because this is another one-way road coming this way. And this is the 2 ways 1-lane road that I was using, and it's this one from here. Let's this one, which is of course all these roads are properly working. We have these parking areas, but I will tell you and show you in a bit. And in this area we did this road work from here, and yeah, let me show you a bit of how I detailed some of these roads from here and there. I mean, if you ever do stuff like this, it's useless unless you start detailing some little things, right? And as you guys know me by now, I love doing detailing, especially to roads, intersections and whatnot. I prefer to do these like every single day instead of doing buildings and whatnot. This is the parking area, the parking lots I was telling you about. Someone created a parking lot, and that person just drew the lines, and in between those two white lines there are invisible parking lots, so cars can actually come and park there with no problem. So I have a highway road, but that's no issue, because by adding that type of parking lot there, cars will actually park and they will come visit, people can come visit their building, the residential buildings, the parks and whatnot, and just park their car there, which is really cool. And all these crossings that you see here, which are actually, if you think about it, they are crossing just over the highway roads. I know they are not working properly because I'm adding just some invisible pathways over them, so can people actually do cross those, but the cars might hit those little seams, but you know what, they are hitting them, they are killing them nevertheless, so why would we actually do something about it? Okay, so we have this little corner here, and I need to match something or to squeeze something into this, and of course how else if not with some procedural objects work, which I just did. I will fill those empty area between those buildings with a roof, and they will look properly. More traffic manager president work as well. I'm adding like lots of arrows on the roads in order for you and everyone else will know exactly which is the way of driving and everything you have to do there. I'm adding bollards all over the places because it's not safe, I know, and I have to avoid that thing and make them look safer, so people are quite safe, let's say, because they are protected by bollards, concrete bollards with some chains as well. There are lots of things that I've done, and I had to cut from the timelapse because the video is already like 18 minutes for now, and I had to cut. So there are lots of top down buildings, roadworks and whatnot, so I don't want to be repetitive, and I just want to show some stuff. For instance, in this particular angle, I'm using a building which is a very small one, right? It has only 2 stories, and in order to make it taller, I had to PO the second part and just raise it from the ground and plop it up there, which is properly good looking now, if you ask me. much better. And I have a new type of, let's say, corner building thanks to that little trick, let's call it. These kind of things can be done over and over again. All kind of other little details, like on the statues, trees, plant tiers. I'm adding lots of these kind of things. I'm adding here for a bus station, which is not working, but it's just for the looks. It is like that in real life too, and I wanted to add one as well. It's not working because we have a highway and we cannot make buses stop here. If I'm not mistaken, there is a mod that allows you to plot down or to create a bus route. I'm not totally sure, but I guess there is one, because I know there is one that allows you to do that on an elevated type of road or on a bridge, which as well is not possible otherwise. Good. And beside all these areas, I'm also turning some trees into procedural objects because I want to make them bigger and whatnot. And also I'm adding invisible parks just to gather people there, just stay and watch stuff and do nothing is the only way to do so. Plus inside there are lots of invisible pathways as well, so people can actually walk all over the places with no problem whatsoever. Good. Without that being said, now about the metro, because we didn't finalize it, or at least I didn't show you how it was looking before. I just added some roofs there on top of them, on top of the platforms. And by the way, the metros are 100% working, as you can see. We have the vanilla metro. Yes, don't hate me. Yes, they are. It's there, but it's good. It actually doesn't look that bad. So, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks pretty French, let's say. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the vanilla one. And on top of the retaining walls that I plopped there, I wanted to add something else to make it, let's say, more safer. People won't jump there and or God knows what they have in mind. So I added some fences with the help of procedural objects as well. And this way it's, let's say, a bit safer. Cool. Let me show you something else here on Google Earth. So we did all these areas so far. Most of them maybe were done off camera. But we have this, it's a maternity, Port Royal, the same name as the station. So this is a hospital or clinic, which I wanted to do as well. So I was looking in the on the workshop for some buildings in order to make this happening, even though we don't have this corner here. So I had to look on the workshop, and I kind of find some of them. Someone actually made those. I don't remember who exactly, but someone made some office look like buildings, and they can, let's say, fit to this hospital that we have here. I kept doing some trial and errors to see how buildings can actually complete each other. Let's say I wanted to see how can I add some of them were turned into procedural objects. I've tried to create my own little or different type of shapes. I actually do love the fact that we can mirror buildings with the help of procedural objects. That gives you an extra building sometimes, because probably you know by now, we have corner buildings or some specific shape of buildings that have only, say, one they look like in a way, but you don't have the mirror side of it. I don't know how to express myself, sorry, but this way these things can be done now with help of the procedural objects, because you can mirror stuff. As I said before, we are actually going very close to the end of this time-lapse video. I'm going to show you how things are looking at the end. I'm doing here the last part, which is the middle area where we have the park, Jardin de Luxembourg, and I was thinking how to make the fountain more cool and more close to the one that exists there. So I created a retaining wall, making like a nice curb there, concrete curb. I plopped down a new fountain that I found on the workshop made by Jez. Of course, I use the procedural objects to make it bigger, and then I found some cool lion statues. In real life, there are some horses, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm using lions instead of horses. And after I plop those down, I just I can turn them into procedural objects as well. I can even add some jet waters, because we have those kind of things, and make them look actually how it is in real life. Cool. Promising you that I'm going to show you how things look like at the end. I love this statue. It's pretty cool. So the metro station, as you saw earlier, we have metros coming nearby and taking people on both sides, here and here. I don't know why I prefer to go in a mirror way, but hey, I did it, so let's keep it as it is. I continued, I finished with these boulevards, adding some green areas like trees and bushes and whatnot, bollards all over the places, crossings, little benches, whatever it takes to make things look more realistic, yeah, with more detailing. Statues, bus station, trees have these kind of planters. I added in the middle here new lights, and I plopped down, I don't know, it's just a flower. You know, you have to water them with a special car to help you get and reach there. But all the road system is properly working. Here is the parking areas that we get here. I told you, with those specific parking lots, and I managed to do so. Only the middle lane is working, so the other two lanes are not working because I don't want to see cars driving through the parked ones. But I found an issue with my with these roads. I don't know why people are walking in this particular area only like this, and then crossing here. There is no invisible pathway, there is nothing there. I don't know what's going on, and there is, I'm sure there is a bug or something, but a bug that annoys me quite a lot. This is the park. I've added some trees. Ooh, let me go down there. So we have trees, nothing else yet there. I've added some hedges here at the entrance. These little, well, they are not even a gate. These are not gates. I just something that looks like gates, right? Little fence and whatnot. And that's it. I like the fact that people actually do cross the street and walk like that, because it's like in real life, you know, people do tend to cross the streets on some weird ways. Let's say. Well, I think this is it, guys. Oh yeah, on this side of I've done this little park here near the so-called hospital area, but we still need to figure out what to do with this roundabout and this big empty area, which will be probably finished in a previous, or in a, not a previous, in the next episode or so. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will leave you now with the cinematics. Till next time, take care. We have a special guest, which is Sanctum Gamer. His video should be already, or it will be already available on my Patreon as early access, or if not, you can wait until next week. But guys, take care. Thank you for watching, and I salute you.